he got a truck. And he went to every hotel that they had these huge quantities of food on the parties after the inauguration that nobody touched. And he got them in the truck, brought them to a central kitchen, repackaged everything, and began feeding the homeless in D.C. 30 plus years later, that organization is doing 15, 20,000 meals a day. But it's not about feeding. It's an organization that began bringing homeless into their kitchen, ex-convicts into their kitchen. People couldn't find a job because they were in jail. Those convicts, those homeless, all of a sudden, they were receiving dignity. The dignity that society, for some reason, was not giving them. American-born citizens that were not receiving the same opportunity to belong as this young immigrant called Jose Andres that came from overseas. And very often I got many doors open. People that for whatever reason in life fall behind. The kitchen gave them a place to belong. And in the process, they began learning how to cook. The organization, This is Central Kitchen, was teaching them how to cook. In the process, they were making the meals with that leftover unused food that they will produce, and then the organization will feed the local homeless. In the process, CEOs and volunteers from around America will come to join forces volunteering next to those ex-convicts and those homeless, that they were no convicts or homeless anymore. And in the process, food was becoming a place of building longer tables. So the $1 to feed one homeless was also the $1 to give hope, was the $1 to give training, was the $1 to rescue food, was the $1 that those men and women, when they graduated, restaurants like me will hire them. So $1 for human resources. All of a sudden was no $1 thrown at the problem. We feed the poor, and forever we'll have to spend the dollar to feed the poor. But no, was $1 to build up the entire economy of a city in the process of taking care of their most vulnerable. Robert Egger told me that philanthropy seems is always about the redemption of the giver, when actually that's the wrong approach. Philanthropy always must be about the liberation of the receiver. When you tell me what the role of our government should be, our government should be here to make sure that they invest in their citizens. And food is a good place for our government to be investing in our citizens.
And it's also, it's looking at the long game too, because the rising tide lifts all boats. The more people contribute to society, the stronger the economy is. Even though it would cost money, it would bring in more money. You would have less crime, you would have less poverty, you would have less everything. You'd have less need, you would have less have-nots and more haves. Everything would be better.